a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Kiki Frances. If you're new here, hi, you're welcome. And if you're an OG, welcome back to the channel. On this channel, we do education, travel, lifestyle, and self-development videos. Also, be doing vlogs. So you're welcome. I missed you all so much. It's been really long since I saw you guys, and I hope everyone is doing well and that you are enjoying the grace of God upon your life. Yes. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you a testimony of what God has done for me. I feel like this thing has been lingering on for so long, and I keep telling myself I am going to tell this testimony, I am going to tell this testimony, I'm going to tell this testimony, and I never get to tell it. Usually I'll go to church and tell, my testimony to the church, but this is big. God showed up and he showed off. So why don't I show him off to the world? Yes, what God did for me, it is beyond human comprehension. This thing has tarried for so long, and so here goes nothing. So in 2022, October last year, I, by the grace of God, applied for admission to universities here in Germany, and by God's grace, I was able to gain admission into one of the universities. And so upon researching and reading in August, September, I think it was somewhere in August, late August, I realized that one of the requirements to get a German student visa was that my passport shouldn't be less than 2 years till the date of expiry. I don't know if you get me, but my passport wasn't supposed to be like less than 2 years to the date of expiring. If not, I was at risk of, not getting my visa approved. When I saw that, it was like some sort of a marathon. My whole mind, I was thinking to myself, where will I go? Who can I talk to? Because I don't have the money when it comes to paying people like the 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 to pay for a fast track passport. I can't get the money. So what do I do? Who do I talk to? Where do I go? Who do I look at? At the time, my admission hadn't been approved yet. I hadn't gotten my admission letter yet. So I was still like in the process of waiting. As I was waiting, praying to God, and after realizing that my passport didn't have to be 2 years to the date of expiry, I became tense. I didn't know what to do. Then I decided to apply for a new passport. I had a passport, all right, that I did my application and everything with, but I had to do another passport because that passport would have expired like in 2024. Because I did it in 2019. It wouldn't have been in the criteria that the embassy required that passport should be. Okay. So I decided to apply for a new passport. Now, I applied for a new passport, and the appointment date I got was somewhere in like November. I'm like, oh my God. I'm looking for something really fast. Admissions will come in September and I don't know what to do. And now my passport appointment date is in November. How on earth, how on earth am I supposed to get this passport done before I go for my visa interview, come back, wait for the visa to be approved before I start setting off for school? God, what kind of thing is this? God, I beg. God, I beg. God, I beg. That is all I was saying. God, I beg. So After I applied and got that appointment, I thought, okay, I have an uncle somewhere, so let me just contact him and then tell him my issue. So I called my uncle, explained everything to him, and he was like, okay. The passport director that he knew no longer works there. He has been transferred to another place, so he doesn't know what to do, but then he's going to ask around for me. I said, okay. He asked where I did the application to. I told him. Then, in 2 or 3 days, he called back and then gave me a name that I should go to that park. And when I get there, I should mention the name and say, I'm going to see that man. And then when I get to the man, I should tell him so so and so asked me to come and see him. Okay. I was all pumped up, you know. Well, my uncle has gotten a connection for me, so let me go. I know it will work out because I mean, he has done it before. My first passport, I didn't have to go to the passport office to pick it up. My uncle went to the director and he got the passport from him and then he got it to me in my house. So I thought, yes, it would work out. Only for me to get to the passport office, my dear brothers and sisters. Well, the security man allowed me in, not knowing the name my uncle gave me is their topmost boss over there. Okay. And when I got to the security man, I told him, okay, I'm going to see this man. He said, all right, do I have an appointment? I said, I'm here to see the man. He knows I am coming. And the security said, okay. So he just showed me where to go, what to sign, and then go inside. So I signed, I went inside. I need to see the people in the front where you take your forms, they stamp, 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 stamp before you go inside to take the pictures. I went to them and I told them I was looking for, let's just name this man Mr. Wise. So I'm looking for Mr. Wise. They directed me to Mr. Wise's office. I went to Mr. Wise's office. I sit. Mr. Wise asked me. Before then, there was one person already there that was talking to Mr. Wise. So I had to wait for Mr. Wise to finish talking to that man. So as I was sitting there, the person said, okay, yada 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 asked me to come and see you and it's because of my passport and this, that. And the man says, no, I don't know you, I don't know the person, please go. Right in front of me, the person was chased out. My whole heart started beating. Hmm, hmm. God, God, please, God, please work this out for me in my head. That is all I was saying. God, please work this out for me. God, please work this out for me. God, please work this out for me. Right in my presence, somebody was chased out. So I was so tensed, I was scared. Then the man now came to me, asked me, yes, what is my, yeah, why am I here? Who am I? And then I tell him, oh, I'm this, that Mr. Greg says I should come and see you for my passport. And the man goes like, I don't know any Mr. Greg. And I'm like, but he said I should come. You should see me that day. My voice was shaky. I almost cried. But Mr. Greg said I should come and see you. And Mr. Wise, your name is Mr. Wise. Yes. And he asked me to come and see Mr. Wise. But then Mr. Wise says, I don't know any Mr. Greg. Okay. Okay, fine. If you say Mr. Greg says you should come and see me, then call him. Call him. I want to talk to him because I don't know who you are talking about. And I said, okay, yes, this might work out because yeah, he's asking me to call. He just sacked somebody, but he's asking me to call. So let me call. From the beginning of this video, have you people seen the length? Up to this point, I was trying to call Mr. Greg. His phone wasn't going through. I called and called and called. Mr. Greg's phone wasn't going through. At that point in time, was that the time for his phone not to go through? Hmm. I called my uncle. I called and called and called. My uncle wasn't picking up. Come and look at me seated there. And then I go back again and tell Mr. Wise, Mr. Wise, the call is not going through. And I'm calling my uncle to call Mr. Greg, but my uncle is not picking up. Then Mr. Wise says, then I'm sorry, there is nothing I can do for you. There is nothing I can do to help you. I was just there. I just wanted to give up and then just go out and keep calling until somebody picks up and talks to Mr. Wise. Now, right there and then, when I wanted to get up, then something told me that I want to believe up to today that it was the Holy Spirit that ministered to me at that point in time. The Holy Spirit told me that no, Francisca, don't get up. Tell the man what your problem is. Tell him why you are there. Tell him the situation in which you find yourself. He is going to help you. I just said in my head, Holy Spirit, help me. Holy Spirit, help me. Then I just went like, Mr. Wise, please, I have applied to go and study in Germany for my master's degree. And one of the requirements of your visa being approved is that your passport doesn't have to be like less than 2 years up to the date of expiry. And my old passport will expire next year. And I'm so desperate because at this point in time, I don't know. I applied for the passport. I wanted to go through the process, but my appointment date is in November and it will be too long for me. School starts in September. Mr. Wise, I don't know what to do. If you don't help me, I don't know who can help me. That is exactly what I told Mr. Wise. If you don't help me, I don't know who can help me. Mr. Wise, please don't chase me out. So as I finished talking, then Mr. Wise asked me, "Do you already have the admission?" I said, "No, I don't have the admission yet." Look at me, I don't have an admission, but then I am making plans of getting a passport for my visa. How sure are you would get the admission? Mr. Wise, I don't know if I'm getting this admission or not, but one thing I know is that my God will not fail me. I know I'll get this admission. And when I get this admission, the passport will be my next point of call. And I want to be prepared before the admission comes. So please, Mr. Wise, help me. Then Mr. Wise goes like, he goes off on me for a couple of minutes. I don't know if he was thinking, he was contemplating whether he should let me go or whether he should help me. So out of nowhere, Mr. Wise just goes like, give me your forms. I gave him the forms. He asked me what is my name. I told him my name. Then Mr. Wise writes my name on a certain list. Hey, right there and then, I was still so anxious. I thought he was going to chase me out, so he was putting me on a blacklist or something. Right there and then Mr. Wise hands back my documents to me and tells me I should go out and say, let's name the lady Anne. I should go out and say, I'm looking for Anne and give Anne my documents. So I went out, looked for Anne, they showed me Anne. I gave Anne my documents and told her, Mr. White says I should give you my documents. So I gave the documents to Anne. Then Anne now goes back into Mr. White's office without me being there to go and talk to Mr. White, or if not, confirm from Mr. White if he actually sent me to her. So I don't know what Mr. Wise told her. Then she said she stamps the first thing, signs, and gives it to me and tells me to go to the other people on the line, like on the bench. So I went there Everybody was just stamping and signing, stamping and signing, stamping. And I said, come and look at the Holy Spirit. God has showed up and He is showing off. It is God. Because if it wasn't God, I don't know. I don't know what else to attribute this to than to attribute it to God. It was God. They all finished signing, and you would think it is a queenly treatment. I don't know anybody. Nobody knows me. Hey, me that nobody knows. They are finished signing my documents. Then the lady takes the documents and she goes with me to where to take the pictures. Like I was supposed to join a queue and I didn't have to join the queue anymore. The lady just took my documents to the counter where I'll be taking the pictures and I sat for a few minutes. Then my name was mentioned and then I went, I took my picture, came out, came to tell the lady, okay, I'm done. Then she says, okay, you can go home. We will call you. Hey, this will call you. Me, I don't believe in this. You will call you because you don't have my number. How will you call me? And she said, when you were applying, you used your telephone number to apply. I said, yes, I did. And I said, yes. So we have your number in the system and we are going to call you. I said, okay. Oh. Let me just move by faith and believe that God who has begun this thing will surely accomplish it. So I said, fine, no problem. I went back to Mr. Wise's office to tell him, thank you for today. Thank you so much. God bless you, Mr. Wise. And he says, it's fine. Bless you too. Then Mr. Wise says, it's okay. Don't worry. All the best. I wish you very well and I hope you get your admission. I said, thank you very much, Mr. Wise. And then I'm on my way. So I left. Fast forward, I came home. I went on a Tuesday. So I was waiting Wednesday, no call, Thursday, no call, Friday, no call, Saturday, no call, Sunday, no call, Monday, no call. Then I decided to go back to the passport office. Now I went back to the passport office, and because I didn't have any appointments, they wouldn't let me go inside. So I went to sit at the collection point, okay, hoping that my name will be mentioned for collection. Nobody was mentioning my name. So I was just seated there for like a few minutes before I realized that is Mr. White coming out of the washroom. That is Mr. Wise coming out of the washroom. And I quickly rushed to him. I said, Mr. Wise, it's me, Francisca. I'm the lady you helped last week. You asked me to go and do this, and blah, blah, blah. You helped me. And he said, oh, okay, okay, okay. So did I ask you to come today? And I said, no, but you said you call me next week. And so I was waiting for the call. The call didn't come and said, okay, come with me. And quickly he went inside with me from the back. He went to his office. Then he sent that particular lady again to go and check whether my passport was ready. And she came back and said, no, my passport wasn't ready, that they are going to call me, so I should go back home. And I said, you are going to call me again? Like I waited home for like a week and no call came. And I still say you are going to call me. So then she said, go, we are going to call you. And I said, okay, but can you please give me your number just in case you don't call me and so I can call you to remind you in case you forget. She said she will not forget. Mr. White says she should call me, so she will call me. She loves her job. Hey, okay, let me go in now. So I left. I went to my house. The very next morning, at around 11:30 to 12 p.m. ish, then I was called, hello, is this Francisca? I said yes. Then the lady was like, your passport is ready for collection. You can come for it. I didn't know what to do to my. I'm like, just like that, just like that. I didn't have to pay a single dime. So I rushed quickly. I already had my bath in the morning, so I quickly just changed into something presentable other than Uber, and I was already on my way to the passport office. I got to the passport office. I said, I'm here for collection. I'm here to see the lady. I mentioned her name at the security point, and then they allowed me enter. I went in. I went to see Anne, and then Anne asked me to sit down. She went inside, came out, and then that was my passport right in front of me. Printed out my name, my picture, the date, everything, and it is 10 years valid, valid for 10 good years. My brothers and sisters, what God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot do does not exist. He can do all things if only you believe in Him. So I went back to say thank you to Mr. Wise. And then I asked Mr. Wise to give me his number. I could thank him properly. Then when I asked him, he said, no, it's not necessary. I said, oh, no, I won't disturb you. It's just for future, for future sake. So that I could at least call you and say thank you for what you've done for me. And he said, okay. He handed me his complimentary card, but he told me that I shouldn't send any money to his phone. I said, okay, thank you very much. I will not send money to you. Just like that, I got my passport under a week. Because from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that is 3 working days, right? And on Monday, that's the fourth working day, I went back. They asked me, they told me to go home, they'll call me back. On the fifth working day, I was called to come for my passport. My brothers and sisters, what God cannot do does not exist. God showed up for me at that point. The Holy Spirit ministered to me, and I listened to the voice that was talking to me. I took initiative. I spoke to the man. I said what I had to say to him. Before saying it, I said, Holy Spirit, help me. Holy Spirit, show me, tell me what to say. And he led the way. I got my passport in under a week. By God's grace, I got admission. I applied for my visa. I got the visa and I'm here. If I want to continue counting what God has done for me, if I want to continue counting what God has done for me, we would not live here and this video would not end today. I know my Christian life is somewhat lukewarm and I am trying so hard. I am working on it and I pray that the Holy Spirit will continue to guide me and order my steps so that I will be on fire for God because I believe it is only God who can do that. No man can do what God has done for me. So this is my testimony. I hope it inspires you to keep trusting and believing in God. I hope it inspires you to hold on fast. I hope it inspires you to keep putting all your trust in God and not man. Because He's the only one who can do exceedingly, abundantly, more than we can think or even imagine. I hope this video has helped you. I hope you are inspired by this. And I pray that through my testimony, God gives you a testimony as well that you would share to the glory of His name. Thank you for watching up to this point. God bless you. Stay safe. Until next time. Bye.